protected. Inside the house was his life, protected by a roof. By the time the fireman got there, it was gone. He sifts through what remains, eyes sunk, hands asleep, brain idle for hours. The man surfaces his heart. He carries it away delicately. It still beats, and he breathes, asking, how much sorrow can this heart take? There is never an answer. Messes. How many messes do I have to clean up for what comes out of your mouth? After the fire died out, the ashes were swept. No house, no clothes, no furniture, no books, nothing left. No sign of us living there. Life is funny sometimes. It takes fire after fire until the water comes. It was cool, soothing, beautiful, and glowing. Unfortunately, now, there is only the dimness of the sunset, happening too many times. This next poem, Ashes, was published in French and Spanish, and it just came out in Argentina. Ashes. Bury me into your heart. Don't forget. Even when you distribute my ashes, embers of arms will flow out into the wind. What will I attach to? The rain will push my ashes to the ground, mixing them with mud. Stepped on, maybe someone will bring me home on their shoe, wipe the mud off with a rag, throw it away, then off to the dumps. This is all I am, garbage, to be buried again into non-existence. There is a chance I will be recycled. Later, I could be part of that doll your child embraces. This next one was really a lot of fun to write. The first 3 stanzas are true. The last stanza is made up. And I had a client who couldn't stay away from women. He was constantly going out with them, and I said, you need to stay sober, take care of yourself, blah, blah, blah. He wouldn't listen, but he would come back with the best date stories, and we all would be in hysterics. And so this is in honor of him. He is dead. And so were the 2 other people with me that he told this to. They also are dead due to drug abuse. Plastic. X was only 2 months sober and was telling everyone he had a date. Despite being told to concentrate on his sobriety and not women, he would not listen. The next day, he said they went out for dinner. Afterwards, she invited him to her place for coffee. When they walked into her apartment, there were dolls sitting at the kitchen table, on the couch, in the bedroom, and even on the toilet. Doll eyes watching him, creepy. He left. We all teased him and said he should have kissed a doll. There would be no heart beating. All he would have to do is keep his lips closed. There would be no feelings. 2. X was sitting in the car with his date, about ready to go to dinner, when she said, "Wait! I have to wrap my head up in tinfoil. It is important for me to communicate with the aliens." X looked at her in disbelief. He took the tinfoil box from her and wrapped his head up with it, waiting for a miracle. 3. It has been a while since X went out on a date. He sat in the car with her as she smacked her gums and then stuck the chewing gum on the dashboard. Then she dug out her lipstick from her purse. X was still focusing on her gum on the dashboard. He looked around her car more closely and saw gum stuck all over the place. He felt a knot in his stomach and was disgusted, got out of the car without saying a word. About a block later, as he was thinking, he reached in his pocket and unwrapped a piece of gum and chewed. 4. The sirens were going off. X knew it was time to get out. His heart was beating quickly. X was scared he would not make it. Heavy black smoke was filling the apartment up. He jumped and realized it was just a dream. Next to him was a woman, young and very pretty. His heart smoldered. He thought, what did I do to deserve such a thing? Just then, a fireman knocked down the door and revived him. There was no girl, just a fire hose through the broken window. Sometimes, X, a flame is just a flame. Crow. Every summer, days last longer, making more killing easier. The crows cry. Black feathers, angry, their sound havoc as bullets scream past. Sick of this, I long for snow, burying the dead in ice a little longer, avoiding stench. There are weeping marches by the people that tumble the bodies over, frozen, transforming hospitals into vineyards to greet grief in a bottle. The birds stroll quickly, grabbing a worm before disappearing. Weapons show in the faces, eyes dark with murder turn away. Gather yourself, bullets are flying on this hot day, forcing skin to connect, tricking the body into ashes. Doesn't matter what country you are in, run from the dead who sleep to live. And I love serial killer shows, murder shows, forensic shows, you name it. I just think it's so fascinating. And so the last section of the book kind of plays off of that in a fun way. And the first stanza is the woman, the first stanza is the man, and the second stanza is the woman. And it's by initials only, J/M. Jay loved fake names. He was a burnt-out novelist, wrote too many stories about horrific blind dates. He was a wild man, too many plastic bags in his kitchen. He would kill you, burn you, pretending it was love. M, an elementary teacher, went out with Jay. She thought he was popular, would bring her wealth. M was wrong. Her fate lay at the water's edge, an alligator. And the last one I'll read is called R/N. R liked tea in the afternoon before he went fishing. Sometimes the crisp air mortified him. He would sit and build a fire. One by one, he took the worms and burnt them. He was grateful for such beauty. Anne thought she could allure him to stay home in fishnet stockings. It never worked. She fell into this routine daily. The police later found her dead, not much left on top of a wood pile, with fishnet stockings on the ground. I guess R was paying attention. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gloria. This is fantastic. Do you have an encore in you?
Oh, sure. I'll do one.
I feel the need to ask for just one encore.
Okay, I'll do that. I'll read Albert. Albert was crazy. History for the global world, a hermit wearing loafers, a bottle of wine in a brown paper bag. He yearned for it. Sometimes vodka, whiskey, rum, it all got his adrenaline going. Mild-tempered, Albert rambled about world produce. His language compartmentalized into words, drink, eat, death, monster. He laughed, quenched his thirsty throat, swigging unfairness into his gut. In his own world, it has to feel good to own the dark alleyways. Sit down, he says. We face tight hands around the bottle and drink until narrowly slipping into someplace else. Thanks. And thank you,
Gloria.
Yeah, thank you. And for keeping the series going. I know Jack Powers is looking down on all of us and very happy it's going strong. So thank you for carrying on his series.
Well, thank you. As a published poet, published by you, thanks for keeping your all your projects going all these years. It's not easy to both live in Somerville and to keep an empire going. So check out the Arts at the Armory if you're ever in Somerville, Massachusetts. Check out the Czervená Barva Press bookstore and get on their mailing list so you can find out when the Lost Bookshelf is open. Though the Lost Bookshelf, I believe, is still available online, so you can get you can order any of their works online, and you can get up-to-date news on Czervená Barva Press every month. Definitely support this woman's work. It's a cumulative work of like many people, and she makes that known. And it's always been a pleasure to work with her.